Hello everybody and welcome to the show. Today we will be reflecting on one of my favorite characters from Naruto, Itachi Uchiha. Let's move him out of the way just for a little bit so we can look at this awesome artwork that he comes with. You can see here that he's from the BST AXN, or Best Action toy line. There's the artwork of him, I guess, in a battle. That's him just regular. He's supposed to have 31 points of articulation. Here's a little bio if you don't know much about the character. And here are his accessories that he comes with. There's a correction that needs to be made because he doesn't come with an open right hand. But he does come with a different hand that I think is actually way better than just having two open hands. We'll talk about that in a second though. For now, we're going to move the box. And here he is. Let's take a closer look at him. First up, we all gotta know how they did on those Sharingan, right? And I think they did a spectacular job. Look at those. And if you hit them with any form of light, they almost glow. That's awesome. That is really, really well done. That has to be my favorite part of this entire figure. But I think they also did a great job on the headband with the scar through it. His Akatsuki robes look really well done. I do have minor paint imperfections there and there, but even his fingernails are painted, his toenails are painted. The paint seems to be the same color as his shoes here and the rest of his outfit. The robe is a nice rubbery material, so it is flexible and it does move, and it also has this little latch here that can open up, and you can completely take this off if you want to. And we'll probably do that later for articulation. But for now, this is what he looks like. This is a painted on design that's not sculpted on for his undershirt. But the necklace he's wearing is sculpted and painted. And I think it's really, really well done. One thing to look out for though is since he is made out of a lot of black rubber, it's very easy for him to attract pet hair or dust or whatever, so he's gonna start looking kind of dirty pretty quick if you're not careful. So just keep an eye on that, because I've tried to keep him as clean as I can, and even then, you know, you still see a couple of specks of dust or whatever that just can't be helped. But I think they did really, really great. Nice. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at his articulation. The head is on a ball post, so it can spin 360. Goes back that far, and goes down that far. His shoulders only go out to that far, and it's not because it's hindered by the coat or anything. You can see it's just the way that the shoulder is sculpted. He does have butterfly joints. They can go in and out that far. He can rotate his arm a full 360. 360 biceps. Double jointed elbows. It's usually very hard to make a double jointed elbow when you have a sleeve. I think they did a pretty good job of not making it look terrible. He's got those swivels in the hands, and they all have the same high five hinge. He has a diaphragm swivel and a waist swivel. When he's got the coat on, the diaphragm barely crunches down at all, but goes back a little bit. His legs are slightly hindered by this part of the shirt, but you can see that they have a little slit on the sides so that it doesn't really get in the way. He can kick out to that far and kick sideways very well. That's out to 90 for sure. After a while, this rubberized piece will just start pushing the joints back down, but it doesn't really get in the way of moving them. 360 hip swivel. Double jointed knees that go all the way back. That's awesome. They don't look as good as his shoulders, or his elbows though. Ankle bends down to there. And back to there, a rocker. He doesn't even look too bad without the coat either. His articulation doesn't change much, but he's able to go back a little bit further, and that's his forward. And his legs can kick back just a little bit more now. And here are the accessories that he comes with. Let's take a look at them on the figure itself. He also has this kunai. Looks pretty great. It's painted there on the handle, and it's casted out of that gray plastic. So to pop off the hands, they're actually really simple to do on the for this action figure. You just pull. And I know that's how it is on most, but this one goes in and out so easily. You just pull out, pop it in. It almost worries me how easy it can pop off. But I want to take 1 second just to really look at the detail. I want to look at the detail and point out how awesome that is. They even sculpted his Akatsuki ring and they painted it, and he's got paint on his fingernails. A lot of detail went into that. That's awesome. And you can see on all of his right hands, he does have the Akatsuki ring molded and painted. That's really cool. And to put the accessory back on, like I said, you just find the hole and push the peg through. Here he is with both fists on. You can see that the fists are the only hands that he has where the fingernails aren't painted. But the thumb is the only nail where you really see, and it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. The fact that they even painted and sculpted that ring is super impressive to me. Here he is with both open, relaxed hands. And for the last set of hands, he comes with this left holding hand where the nails are painted still. That's awesome. And for the right hand, he comes with this two-finger extended position. And a lot of the time, characters from Naruto are performing hand signs to use their special moves. And this could look like one of those. But what I really think this hand is included for is something, in my opinion, even better. I think that is the reason why they included this hand. Now, if you don't know anything about these characters, then that doesn't make sense to you, and I guess it shouldn't. But basically, these brothers have had a few misunderstandings in the past, and they were enemies, but they were always brothers, even if they didn't know it. And tapping Sasuke's head with his two fingers was something that Itachi did while they were still kids, before their lives changed completely because of what Itachi had to do. So the fact that they included that extra hand rather than another holding hand, I think that was such a great idea, and I'm not at all upset that there's, I guess, false advertisement on that box. Because this is way better. The open hand is like sealed together. So his thumb and his finger are closed. So you can't really open it apart to get the accessory in there. So the only way to do it is you just gotta try to push your way through. You can also try to push it in through the other way. But his sleeves make it an issue sometimes. His head is just on a little ball post, so all you have to do is you just pop it off. And when you want to put the new one on, you just push it back on. But a huge issue with the BST AXN line is their alternate heads are always so gosh darn difficult to put on the body. And I don't know if it's just because the, maybe whenever they machine the holes or they drill them out, they make them the same size, but since this has been on the peg the whole time in the box, maybe it's got used to the shape, and this one just hasn't, and that's why the alternate head is always more difficult to put on. But I don't know. Either way, if you're having issues with putting on these alternate heads, if you microwave a little cup of water, just enough water to submerge this head in, you microwave it for a couple of minutes, get the water nice and hot, put the head in there, let it soften the plastic and help it expand a little bit, and then whenever you go to pop it on the peg, it should be fine. But that's what the alternate head looks like. And I think it's still really well done. I don't know if that expression really warrants needing a different head, because it's kind of just like the mouth is open, and I guess the eyebrows are a little bit angrier. I think it would have been a nice touch if they would have given one of the alternate heads a different set of Sharingan eyes, because in the show, Itachi's able to change his eyes depending on which version of the Sharingan he's using. So it would have been cool to get a couple different representations, but I think the Sharingan is well done on both. It's a little misprinted on the left eye on this one, but not bad. If you want to count the cloak as an accessory, then you're more than welcome to do that. I don't know if I would, but it does come off. And this is what he looks like without the cloak. Honestly, he doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too out of place. Of course, the sleeves are still there and you can't really do anything about it. And this is not what he would look like normally in the show without the coat. But if you never really saw the coat and you just saw the character like this, I don't know how many people would look at it and go, well, that just looks stupid. Because to me, it looks fine. I'm okay with this. And I also wanted to point out really quickly that in the show, Itachi's hair is a little bit longer. He has like a ponytail. But they didn't put that on either one of his head sculpts. And I'm sure it's because, first of all, the cloak is normally covering that part up. And also so that it doesn't get in the way of articulation. I don't mind that piece of hair missing. It's not that big of a deal. And I think from the front, he looks just fine. The cloak is also able to help him stand. But let's move on to comparisons. Here he is next to his brother, Sasuke, and Rock Lee. These are both also from Best Action. And you can see that they're all roughly around the same height. I think Best Action likes to make pretty much all their action figures the same height if they can, even if that kind of doesn't represent scale correctly. So I think Itachi's supposed to be taller than Sasuke and Lee, but here he's about the same height as both. Here we have from SH Figure Arts Naruto, and from the, I think, the Naruto Legends line, Kakashi Hatake. The Figure Arts is bigger than both of them, but these two toy lines seem to be roughly around the same size. I think Kakashi should be bigger than he is compared to Itachi, but it fits. If you'd like to see some of these characters wearing the Akatsuki robe, you can find them on my socials. Here we have a couple more Best Action figures. We have Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender, and Alphonse Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. I know Alphonse is supposed to be like way bigger than both of these two characters, but again, I think they have this idea where they want pretty much all their figures to be around 5 inches tall. And here we have a Best Action Gandalf, and from the Final Faction, a Dollar Tree toy line, we have General Diabol. Itachi is bigger than Diabol, but because of Gandalf's little wizard hat, he's taller than Itachi. We have a Tenga Warrior from Power Rangers Lightning Collection, and Ultra Instinct Goku from Dragon Ball Evolve. Itachi comes up to the Tenga's shoulder, and he's about the same height as Goku. Next up we have Hit from Dragon Stars, and Lord Draken from Power Rangers Lightning Collection. He's about to the shoulder of both of them. And last but not least, the massive head of Pumpkin Wrapper.
Amaterasu!
So let's go ahead and discuss our final thoughts and any possible adjustments or improvements we could make to better enjoy this action figure. I really think the loyal subjects, the people who own Best Action, I really do think they knocked it out of the park this time with Itachi. Everything from the sculpt, the paint, the details, painting the fingernails, putting the ring, throwing in a kunai as an accessory, the alternate head, even though I'm not super excited that they threw in an extra head that kind of looks the same. I think this figure came together very, very well. The type of fabric that they use for the cloak turns this from a statue into a playable action figure. And the fact that they made that choice means a lot. There's really not much for me to say here. I really like all the choices that they've made with this action figure. It would have been nice if instead of this alternate head, we would have either gotten different Sharingan, or maybe he could have come with crows of his own rather than me having to use these ravens. But other than that, that's really it. This action figure is definitely worth picking up if you have any attachment to the Naruto franchise or to this character. Or maybe you just want to buy him just so you could look at those awesome Sharingan, because they did a phenomenal job on that. I mean, his Sharingan are so well done that it makes me sad that they didn't give Sasuke from the same line on either one of his head sculpts. They didn't give him the Sharingan. And now that I know how good it could have been, it makes me so sad. So that was my reflection on this action figure. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this Itachi worth picking up? I think it is. I know that there is an Anime Heroes one. I didn't like the look of it, and I don't like the scale of that line too much. I'm more into smaller figures, except when it comes to Transformers or Lightning Collection. So I enjoy this scale. I enjoy how these three look with each other right now. It's so awesome to actually have physical representations of these characters that I've cared so much about for so long. Seeing that my channel is slowly growing and getting a little bit more attention, actually, it makes me inspired to want to go out and improve what I'm doing here. I want to get better at this. I want to bring better content and better reviews for you all to enjoy. So thank you for joining me so far on this journey. I hope it only gets better for all of us from here. If you enjoyed this video, like it, hit that button. If you want to watch more videos, make sure that you subscribe and you click that little bell. That way I can let you know when that video comes. You can watch it right away. You can be the first person to watch it. Wouldn't that be special? Have a great day, everybody. I hope you have a chuckle and be nice to somebody. I'll talk to you next time.